Welcome back to War of the Lesbian Zombies. Previously, the Sisterhood arrived in Athens, where we met the naughty all-girl crew of Alphon's yacht, while Betsy's deadbeat dad stalked her to Disney World, fully intent on abducting her from the Haunted Mansion ride.
Lily, Jill, and the girls were off to the Haunted Mansion. After waiting in a long line, it was finally time for the girls to get on the ride. A train of high dome-backed chairs. Jill and Lily got in the nearest chair, Caroline and Betsy the next, and Jorge sat behind them. Haunting voices greeted them as the ride began. The mansion wasn't all that dark. Chandelier-lit halls and creepy dancers in a ballroom, a lighted ethereal bride, and ghostly forms rose to the ceiling. It wasn't all that scary until a hand reached out of the darkness and yanked Betsy out of her chair. Her sudden scream was quickly muffled. Jorge leaped out of his chair, looked left and right, but she and her captor had melted into the dark recesses of the ride.
Betsy!
He dogged a man digging a grave and a band of spooky musicians. Backstage, he ran through a maze of cables and platforms, then sprinted toward another scream. A wedge of light split the darkness as a back door opened, then quickly shut.
Betsy!
He ran to the door, burst outside, squinted into the bright Florida sunshine, looked right, looked left. No Betsy, no phantom, just trees and more trees.
Betsy!
The scream came from somewhere in the trees. He jumped the rail and plowed into the underbrush.
Betsy, where are you?
You're not my daddy.
I'm coming, Betsy.
Stay away from us. Jorge pressed toward the voices, through the trees, the bugs, the heat, until he found the man who'd taken Betsy. We'll be happy together.
Let me go.
Stop being a brat. Let her go.
The man stood behind her.
She's my daughter. Stay out of this.
Jorge wasn't there to argue. He knocked the kidnapper into the swampy water, where he flailed in panic.
I can't swim.
He went under.
Let's go. We're missing all the fun.
They got to the ride's exit as Jill and Lily rushed out with Caroline.
Betsy,
She ran to her mother.
are you all right? I told you she'd be fine. What the hell happened?
She met her father.
He was here?
I put eyes on him earlier, seemed to be especially interested in the girls, but he wasn't threatening. After he grabbed Betsy off the ride, I ended the reunion permanently.
You killed him?
Turns out he can't swim. Not my fault if he's dead.
He drowned?
Last I saw him, his swimming lesson wasn't going very well. Anyone for ice cream?
The girls cheered as they walked away from the Haunted Mansion.
That ride wasn't very scary. It was scary for me.
The sisters were partying up on the Lido deck as the yacht sped toward an Aegean volcanic island 55 miles from Rhodes. Carrie, sunning herself on a deck chair, checked her phone where she found a picture of Caroline and Betsy in princess dresses.
Donna, look at this. How cute, they're having so much fun at Disney World.
She joined Carrie in the next chair, hot bodies together, 2 peas in a pod, but much more delicious.
Cute, yes, but I'd much rather be here.
Brenda's phone buzzed. She checked the display and answered. Jorge?
I thought you should know Betsy's deadbeat dad tried to kidnap her.
Tried?
A floater might show up in the swamp if the gators don't get to it first.
How's Jill taking it?
She says Betsy has no use for a fair-weather father.
Give her our condolences. She disconnected the call. Tammy rolled in with a cart full of sandwiches and drinks.
Who died?
Nobody important.
Lunch?
It's so beautiful here. How about we stop for lunch and ask Captain Kathy to join us? Better yet, invite the whole crew. Maria came up for a beer.
It's party time.
The growl of the engine subsided, and the yacht slowed to a stop. Brenda got a call from Admiral Roy Kincaid.
Admiral?
Brenda, General Taylor called me about your request. I've sent the information to Captain Marquez on the USS Carmick. He'll meet you at the Rhodes anchorage, give you whatever weaponry you need, and a couple of his men will train you and your sisters. Is there anything else I can do for you?
I understand Frank Leatherwood is on the Carmick.
Yes, a rescue swimmer.
Could you see to it that he's assigned to train us?
Consider it done. Anything else?
I'm looking forward to seeing you at our Black Friday 2 party.
Raring to go, as is General Taylor.
I promised you guys a great time. See you then. She closed the call and looked for Carrie among all the cute butts. Oh, Carrie, come here, please. She bounced over, all happy and sexy. What's up? That sailor who rescued you? Yeah, Frank Leatherwood. His ship is going to be at the naval base when we arrive. When you see him, make sure he knows how lucky he is to see you. Aye, aye, my queen. She ran back to her sisters.
Holding fast in the calm waters of the Aegean Sea, Girls' Night Out was alive with music and laughter.
The crew had secured their stations and joined the sisterhood in joyous mischief on the Lido deck. Monica and Donna were dancing, Belinda and Maria hung out at the bar, and Joan sat in the captain's chair. Brenda and Jackie hooked up in the hot tub, while Chloe sat on the rim.
Tammy, dressed in leather, brought her flog for some rough fun and games. Captain Kathy worked out on the sun mat. Carrie, nervous and excited about seeing her rescuer again, stood with Leanne at the gunwale and discussed her conflicting sexual preferences. Frank was a hunk, a handsome hunk, a heroic hunk. But Carrie would rather play with Leanne.
I'm not attracted to men like I used to be. See him anyway, for Brenda, but do me first, for fun.
They headed to the game room for some private games of their own. Yes, love was in the air. Whiskey and wine flowed freely, and the frolicking nymphs aboard Girls' Night Out didn't have a care in the world. Reverend Janice Parker couldn't say the same thing. As she entered the church, the sanctuary and the halls were as quiet as a tomb. A far cry from Sundays when she couldn't hear herself think as the organist played and the parishioners gabbed while listening to Leroy praise Jesus' holy work. Give everything you've got to the Lord. At the church office, she was surprised to see the door ajar. She stepped inside and screamed. The door to the safe was open, where $2.5 million in pilfered cash was stacked. The shelves were now bare, except for a piece of paper. She unfolded it and read.
Janice, Brenda will never forgive me for ratting her girls out to the Cubans. I'm now a walking dead man. I took the money so I can go into hiding. I hope you will forgive me for dumping the church in your lap. Love, Leroy. Son of a bitch. I will never forgive you. Brenda will hunt you down, and when she finds you, you will die. Girls' Night Out rumbled into the naval anchorage and moored next to the USS Carmick. The battle-gray juggernaut displayed the number 33 in bold white letters on the bow. Bikini-clad women waved to the sailors who were ogling them from the deck of their ship. They were told the yacht carried nurses from the World Health Organization. Air's First Class Frank Leatherwood spotted Carrie in a blue bikini. To see her again was like the heavens had shot sunbeams down on him. Carrie! Over here! Carrie! From her position on Girls' Night Out, Carrie spotted Frank.
That's him.
Go get him, sister.
I want to, but I don't know what I'm feeling.
Follow your heart. Loa won't lead you astray. Now go. Carrie waved to Frank. Naturally, every sailor on the Carmick thought she was waving at them. Frank sprinted to Captain Marquez, who was also watching the yacht. She's here, sir. One of the women I rescued from that plane crash. Permission to go ashore? Permission granted. Frank ran down the pier to the cheers and whistles of his shipmates. Carrie was running toward him. They met in the middle of the pier and threw their arms around each other. I thought I'd never see you again. You're taller than I remember. Her sister started chanting,
"Kiss him, kiss him," and the sailors joined in. "Kiss her, kiss her."
You heard them. Kiss me, sailor.
And he did. But little did he know, he was getting a hot dose of a virus that would change his life forever. Then again, little would he care. Leanne nuzzled up to Brenda.
She had me worried last night, but it looks like she's pulled it off. It doesn't even look like she's faking it.
She's not. Her feelings are real. Loa wants those two together for some reason. Time will tell if his feelings for her are worthy. Frank and Carrie walked into town, down streets Mark Antony and Cleopatra had walked 2,100 years earlier, now flanked by the ancient stone walls of a medieval fortress. At a corner, he stopped and faced her, looked her up and down. "You look absolutely stunning."
What's the matter, Frank? Never seen a girl in a bikini before?
"There must have been something in your kiss. I can't take my eyes off you."
Yeah? What you gonna do about it, sailor?
"I'd prayed we'd meet again, and here we are. God has answered my prayer."
Maybe it was our goddess Loa.
"To whatever divinity there is, I'm eternally grateful. So what do you say we find us a room?"
Patience, Frank. Let's eat first. Then you can have anything you want for dessert. After all, a damsel must reward her knight fittingly.
"You don't owe me anything, and I don't expect anything. But something inside me is on fire for you. Something I've never felt before." Carrie had that same burning glow and felt Loa guiding her emotions. For whatever reason, she didn't know. But she did know a lesbian shouldn't want a man as badly as she wanted Frank. She took his hand, and they walked toward their uncertain future.
I think Loa is up to something with these two lovebirds. Bet Frank's coveted Navy life and his dream of submarine school are headed for the scrap pile, all for the love of a lesbian zombie. And I have to wonder if deadbeat dad and child abductor Jerry Henderson drowned or not. Personally, I hope he's gator chum. Up next in episode 18, Frank and Carrie's Rhodes romance blossoms, and we're destined to find out why. But first, our heroines must survive a pirate attack in the Gulf of Aden.